Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of a program inside the Red Chamber with Freddy Toa. Although the Senate is on break, which will last for about a month, and hopefully they'll resume by 28th of January, I still feel it's necessary for me to bring you recent developments that are still happening in the Red Chamber that may be of interest to you. All right, welcome back. On the 11th of June 2019, the President of the Senate, Ahmad Lawan, and his deputy were elected as presiding officers of the Ninth Senate. Now, statutorily, it is expected that whenever the President is not available, maybe for reasons beyond his control, the deputy is supposed to preside. That is what the law prescribes. But since June last year, the deputy, who is Ovio Omagege, who is always on ground, has not presided at plenary once. It's the first time in history that a deputy Senate president for over 6 months has not presided over any plenary of any sort since the assembly was inaugurated. Now, some have attributed it to a number of reasons, that it could be that Lawan is very hardworking and he always wants to take charge and ensure that things are done properly. That is one narrative. Another narrative is that Omagege and his principal, if you are permitted to call him that, as Lawan, are not on the same page when it comes to political ideology. There is this rumor, or fear rather, that Lawan feels threatened to a large extent that Omagege was imposed on him by the presidency, that if he had been allowed to choose a suitable partner, he would have opted for another person. That is the second argument. The other narrative is that there is an existing report which was instituted by the 8th Senate when the National Assembly was invaded on the 18th of April 2018 by thugs allegedly on the instruction of Omagege. That report was never considered and passed because of some legal equivalencies and other actions that were taken by Omagege to ensure that he was never indicted. Now, although the report was never considered, there is the fear or belief that part of the recommendation was that Omagege was reportedly indicted in that report. The other narrative is that when he was a practicing lawyer in the United States of America, he was reportedly indicted or convicted by a competent court of law. These are the three reasons that many who believe that the face-off is getting messier are advancing. They may be right, they may be wrong, but no one can really say. But the one that may really interest you is the invasion of National Assembly. When that committee was set up, incidentally, the current Senate President, Ahmad Lawan, was on the floor that very day, presiding over some activities on the floor of the Red Chamber as the leader of the Senate when the incident happened. Now, he was also part of those that condemned the action and also part of those that pushed for the report to be adopted and those found to have erred, indicted and prosecuted. That never happened. Maybe is part of the reasons why he doesn't feel comfortable working with Omagege. In the 8th Senate, there was something that happened where many Nigerians are already aware of. Following the defeat of the PDP-led administration, the party then wasn't ready for a major opposition role. So for a long time, the party was in crisis. Incidentally, the major opposition within the ruling party then became the Senate of the National Assembly led by Bukola Saraki from Kwara State. In many instances, action, decisions or policies that were taken by the Buhari-led administration were openly criticized on the floor of the Senate. Resolutions were passed and such decisions were thwarted because they felt they were not in the interest of Nigeria. One of such was planned by the Buhari administration to secure a loan of almost $30 billion. But the Saraki-led Senate then put a stop to it. There was also the closure of the land border by the Customs Service, which Saraki-led Senate also intervened and that was stopped. Several we could mention. Even instances where alleged herdsmen attacked villages, people were killed. On the floor of the Senate, they were condemned and decisions were taken immediately. There was also a security summit that was held, and the report was submitted to the executive, hoping that they will act on it. These were decisions that were taken in the last Senate. Now, if you compare to the existing Senate, which is led by Ahmad Lawan, it appears to be a very sharp contrast. Many things happen in the polity, and the floor of the Senate, they are hardly talked about. And whenever any senator is bold enough to bring it up for discussion, it's restricted to just a few minutes. Many believe it's to avoid senators taking chance or taking their time to abuse or condemn the current president of the country, Muhammadu Buhari, and Lawan, who many believe is a loyal scribe of the party and also very loyal to the president, doesn't want to permit that. We've seen killings across the country. We've seen rise in kidnap cases. We've also seen a return of the same loan requests that were rejected by Saraki-led Senate being returned to the Senate, and the president has told us openly that the ninth Senate will pass it even before it was considered, which is, of course, is preemptive. So these are some of the reasons people are advancing, and they are worried that if Nigerians do not speak up, do not call their lawmakers to order, the rubber-stamped Senate that we've always talked about in this sphere of rumor may actually become a reality. So if you are a Nigerian and you feel that the Senate is not doing enough and you want more from them, it's time to speak up. It's time to tell your representative in the National Assembly to do the right thing and put Nigeria first before party affiliation, loyalty, or whatever you choose to call it. I can go more and more, but for the purpose of time and so I won't bore you, I will end it here. And as soon as the Senate resumes, I will revert to the weekly program instead of this bi-monthly arrangements, so that you can be more informed of what is happening on the floor of the Red Chamber. Until I see you again, my name is Freddie Tua.